Hello, welcome back to my little channel. Today we are going to go over some of the books that I hopefully want to read during March. This is my birth month, so I've kind of gone with a few little like funner picks, in my opinion anyways. Books that I wanted to read for a while, some books like slightly out of my comfort zone, and like book club books, some audiobooks, but I've got like the physical copies, so I'm going to show you them as well. But yeah, so this is going to be like a bit more of a chill video. It's only going to be probably about 15-20 minutes long. It's just a quick little one, but I will start with some of the books that I have like previously talked about. So I've got Project Hail Mary. I'm listening to this and I'm going to finish listening to this. I think there's about 20 or so days until the movie comes out, so I'm getting through it. I think I'm about just over like halfway. And it is really good, so I'm going to continue this and then be done with it this month. And then I'm also going to read Nightshade by Autumn Woods, which is the book club book that we're currently reading for this like month, and I'm really excited. I've been wanting to read this since it's come out. Everybody was talking about it and I'm kind of was putting it off because I have such a long TBR, but I realized that doesn't matter and I should be able to enjoy and read what I want when I want. So and then another book that I'm going to be reading this month hopefully is another book that I talked about for last month, which is Wild Dark Shore. I didn't get around to it in February because I just wasn't feeling in the mood for it, whereas I'm hopefully going to read this month because I am really excited. I'm such a chronic mood like reader and just wasn't feeling it that month, so hopefully this month I'll get around to it. And then last month I listened to Half His Age by Jennette McCurdy. So I'm going to read her debut novel. I'm going to try and reading it, but if I struggle to pick it up, which I've heard people say great brilliant things, so hopefully I won't, I will just be listening to it because I haven't actually checked if there's an audiobook, but I just assume there's an audiobook, and I'm going to assume that it's also going to be narrated by her because that's what happened with Half His Age, and she narrates things so beautifully or like so well. So I'm really excited to get round to this because I've heard just brilliant things about this book specifically. Obviously being her debut novel is like a big thing, but I think this will be good. And then I'm also going to read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I've heard loads about Kristen Hanna, but I've just never been in the mood for like a historical fiction. But this book specifically, I've heard really good things, and I've got another copy of The Great Alone by her on my bookshelf up there. So if I read this and really enjoy it, then I'm gonna also try and read that. But obviously this one's a bit more out of my comfort zone, but with the things that I've heard about it, I feel like I will really like it. I also want to read The Women by her, so obviously if I read this and really gel with it, then I'm gonna give that one a go as well. And then the last two are these ones, First Time Caller and Now Back to You. This one just recently came out and I thought this was like the perfect time to pick this one up as well, and then hopefully I can just binge them. So I'm really looking forward to that. These are the Works special editions, so they've got really beautiful sprayed edges, but I'm really excited. This one's like a romance, and then obviously this one's as well, so I imagine it's like one of like this series, like an interlinked series, so I'm sure that once I read this I'm going to be really excited to pick this up. So that's kind of the books that I'm gonna be hopefully getting around to in March. Hopefully I get around to more, but so far I think I've been like averaging like 3 books a month with work as well, so I'm probably not gonna get around to all of these, but hopefully I also will, so we shall find out. But I thought I would talk to you about the books that I did finish last month as well. I will go and get them. So last month, as I said earlier on, I started Project Hail Mary, and I thought that the first half of the book that I did listen to was really good, so I'm really excited to finish this. And I think the only reason I haven't finished it yet is because I've been listening to it, so I only listen to it when I get some time to, like when I get ready or on the way to work or in the way into town, so that's been more of a here and there listen. And then I finished My Friends by Fredrik Backman, which I gave like my review on it in the last video, but if you haven't watched that, I very much recommend this. This was my first 5-star of the year, so I was really excited to be able to give that to this book, because this is genuinely such a good book. I think everybody should read this, and I'm really excited to hopefully get round to picking up Beartown by him as well. Obviously I know it's a trilogy, so it'll be more of a constant read, so like sort of series thing, which I also really enjoy, which is what I usually do anyways, especially with whenever I get into like fantasy books. They're usually like a lot of back to back, so I really enjoy getting into like that kind of universe, so hopefully I'll pick that up. And then I read The 7-Year Slip, which I was really excited to get around to because I heard just such incredible things about it, and oh my god, 6 stars. I thought, like, I genuinely didn't know whether I was going to be able to give another book a 5-star or higher, obviously, as I'd only just read this and I was like, nothing's gonna be able to beat this, but because this is so different than this, I couldn't put this down. As in, I finished this within like a day. I started it and then like got round like 40 pages and then I popped it down because then I had like work back to back, so I was just really tired, and then I just read a couple of pages before bed. But then one evening I just picked it up and I ate through all of it, and I thought that this is just such a fun book. I love fun books. I love when, you know, especially with romance, I think when there isn't too crazy of like a plot or, you know, like a third act breakup. Sometimes I find them a bit iffy, and that wasn't really the case with this one, so I would recommend this. Also, it's not like crazy long in my opinion. It's like just over 300 pages, so this is such a good book. And I also listened to Half His Age by Jennette McCurdy, which was a bit more of a harder listen, purely because of what the book's about. It's very disturbing and quite frankly disgusting if you think of like of actually what's going on, but I think the way Jennette was able to narrate that was really well, and I think that she really was able to portray Waldo's feelings and her inside thoughts very, very well. I think it was a very fast-paced book. I mean, the whole book was only like 5 hours to listen to, which is like very short. So it was like really easy to get through. The chapters were really, really like short, so it was very, very fast-paced, which I needed at the time. I wanted a really quick listen that I didn't have to think too much or like, you know, play about with settings in my head, because with Project Hail Mary, obviously it's like a sci-fi book, so you still have to think a lot, whereas with that one, even though it was disturbing, it was very fast-paced. I gave that one, I think, a 3.75 stars, because even though I don't agree with what happens in the book, I think the way it was written and the way it was narrated, I thought was really well done. And for a second book, I believe it's a second book anyways, I believe that it's like a good runner-up, I guess. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to this month and get through some of these. I will do some reading videos hopefully soon when I get some time and some days off that I can just do that for the whole day. But yeah, this was just a very quick video, and I thought I should just update you on where I'm at with my reading progress on things. So yeah, thank you for coming and watching this. I know it's only like a very quick video, but thank you anyways. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time with a bit of a longer video. I might, if I get the time, post a longer video at the end of this week to make up for such a short video now, but we shall see. I don't know what my schedule is looking like too much, as it's like my birthday next week, so there's a lot of planning and a lot of little bits and bobs going on at the minute. So yeah, but thank you for coming, and yeah, I shall see you next time.